Welcome to the Battlefront 3 Legacy 2025 mod showcase. For those who need an introduction, Battlefront 3 Legacy is a large-scale mod project for the original 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2 by Pandemic that aims to recreate the features, content and experience of the cancelled 2008 Star Wars Battlefront 3 by Free Radical. The project started in 2016 with minimal reference material and available assets, but over the years, thanks to the efforts of our team, contributors and the guys over at the Free Radical archive, we have been able to make something that is very close to the original source material. For many users outside of the Discord server, this is likely the first major news release in quite some time, and we want to keep everyone up to date with the progress this mod has been making since our last major release in 2021. And we also want to update people on what our upcoming plans and showcase what we're currently working on in regards to the mod. Firstly, I want to start by apologising on behalf of the team regarding the lack of major releases since 2021. It has been a busy few years, and while this presentation may come off as a bit too apologetic and defensive at times, showcasing what we've been working on, we are dedicated to creating the absolute best Battlefront 2 mod that we can, and we are very, very close to having something that is presentable and releasable. Our team is very small, considering we're attempting to create a whole nother game within the Star Wars Battlefront 2 itself. Currently our main modding team consists of only a handful of active developers. We do have a lot more contributors lined up to work on things in the future, however these are projects and tasks that will require a bit more planning and for us to have the base mod completed. Our mod team currently consists of our founder, El Fabricio, who is still our project lead. While he has taken a bit of a backseat in recent years and doesn't really do that much development, it is still his mod and none of us would be here today without the previous work he had produced. You of course have me. I'm a shaman. I am currently the lead developer and project manager for Battlefront 3 Legacy. We then have Ryan Hank, an absolute modding beast. He is our lead artist and animator for the project. A lot of what we've accomplished would not be possible without him, and he has gone way beyond anything that I could have ever expected him to work on. We also have Shurisafe, who is another Battlefront 2 modder, who's behind such mods as Star Wars Battlefront 2 First Strike. He is one of our artists and consultants. And we also have River, who is our asset manager and art consultant. We also have Lomiado1, he is our junior artist who is responsible for a lot of the asset prep work that goes into Battlefront 3 Legacy, and without him we would not have been able to get a fast turnaround on adding maps this year. I also must thank the team over at the Free Radical archives, as they have contributed many of the assets and reference material that we use in Battlefront 3 Legacy. We have not been able to get this far without them, so I suggest checking them out via the links below. As I mentioned before, there are many more developers than this, but they're simply not actively working on the mod at the moment until we solidify that the base mod is complete and we are able to easily assign work between these developers. A lot of what it is that we want them to work on are things that are just not quite ready yet. We hope that our team will continue to grow over the coming months in reflection with the progress that we're making. If you're interested in joining the Battlefront 3 Legacy team, please reach out to us via Discord. One of the biggest things that we've been doing starting in early 2024 is that we've decided to completely hit the reset button with all the progress made on the mod so far in order to rework and rebuild everything to make sure that everything is as stable as possible and just a lot better done. Essentially, we've applied standards to a mod. Part of this includes implementing custom animations based off the leaked Xbox 360 build. These are animations that you're currently seeing on screen and have applied to many of the human classes you'll see throughout Battlefront 3 Legacy. Work has also been started on the droid animations, but they're not quite as far along. These new animations include everything from unique animations specific to weapons to death animations. This means that if you are using a minigun, it will be a completely different animation set to other weapons, and it applies to pretty much every type of weapon that you will come across in Battlefront 3 Legacy. We never planned for custom animations to be implemented, and to be honest never really considered it to be doable, but Ryan Hank, as I said, joined the team and he has done an absolutely amazing job at porting these animations over. While many of the animations are from the 360 build, they have all been painstakingly re-rigged and modified to work best with the Battlefront 2 skeleton and animation system, and a lot of additional custom animations have also been added. Our animation rework is far from done, with new animations from the recent Wii leak also planned to be implemented early next year. Now, as cool as this hologram effect is, you are probably getting pretty tired of it, so let's move on to the Battlefront 2 so we can actually see the mod in action. Over the last few years, we have tried to show restraint on adding new maps and content to the mod while we're trying to rework things. This is so we could prioritise finishing what was already implemented, but naturally a couple of things have slipped through the net. Currently working towards an update referred to as 1.0. This is a version of the mod that will be mostly complete and will serve as the base for us to build the rest of the mod off. This will feature several maps and the Clone Wars era pretty much in a completed state. We can confirm that the map list that we intend to release with 1.0 will include the following maps. Bespin, a map set in Cloud City, which will allow you to explore the Administrator's Palace, the Carbon Freezing Chamber, and other iconic movie locations. Cato Nemodia, a map set on one of the hanging cities of Cato Nemodia, more specifically the one that is seen in Revenge of the Sith. Coruscant, the iconic city, will be a nighttime map where you fight across the streets of Coruscant and obviously get to fly around the skyline. Dathomir, a map set on the expanded universe version of the planet, and will feature an abandoned Imperial cloning facility seen in the Battlefront 3 campaign. Desolation Station, a asteroid mining facility that was vital to the construction of the first Death Star. The Invisible Hand, a capital ship belonging to General Grievous and is the capital ship seen at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. Tatooine, a map set in a settlement on Tatooine that features a Republic military base. Yavin 4, a map set around the Great Temple and surrounding ruins. And a Venator interior map. The Venator interior map is actually quite interesting as it is based off a cancelled map from Battlefront 3, which was fully blocked out but never implemented. What you are seeing is still early in development as we are still actively making changes and developing the mod, so expect things to vary when it eventually releases. Tatooine and Yavin were both started this year and are quite far along in development. All the other maps have also received visual improvements and bug fixing in order to make sure that they are complete and time for release. We have completely reworked the balance in our mod, and it now plays very differently from the original Battlefront 2 and other similar mods. It is based off the Battlefront 3 sides, and we're pretty happy with how things are turning out. We are looking at changing a few things which will be implemented soon. Hopefully there'll be enough diversity and the mod will play differently enough that it'll be interesting to play. As mentioned, we have rebuilt much of this mod from the ground up and have implemented many new features. We have completely redone the HUD to reflect what was seen in the Wii League, now featuring a score bar that will count up in the Space to Ground Assault mode to reflect the points being earned, and down in the Classic Conquest mode, reflecting the reinforcements running out. We have also added new HUD features such as a weapon reticle that changes depending on the weapon that you are using. We have also implemented a health icon system for which changes depending on which unit you're playing as or vehicle that you've entered. These changes to the user interface also now extend to all of the in-game menus which have received a Battlefront 3 Legacy touch-up. Regarding gameplay, we have tried to reflect Battlefront 3 as closely as possible, matching damage values, the class system, and design choices that Free Radical made. Cover is now much more valuable in the mod, and maps now feature explosive barrels as well as limited health and ammo drops from killing units. This will result in the health and ammo droids being much more important, as well as players relying much more heavily on the engineer health and ammo drops. Native teams with yellow command posts are back on some maps, such as Dathomir, Tatooine, and Bespin. We have redone the custom sounds included in our mod, and have replaced many of the original game's based audio, including introducing the final Battlefront 3 Republic announcer voice, which features Tamara Morrison. Sadly, I forgot to record it. Another thing that we're trying to do is I really like the magic of the PlayStation 2 era of games, where there was always just small things that you can interact with that don't really add any value, but are just fun to play around with. Battlefront 3 Legacy is beginning to include some of these features, and in addition to us just trying to expand the maps and make them more interesting, so hopefully there will be a lot of interesting things that players will be able to do on these maps that would not be able to do on the original Battlefront 3. One of the major things we are currently working on is finishing the space-to-ground combat. Capital ship boarding is a big part of this mod, and we really hope that we'll be able to get it complete enough to post a full playthrough of it soon. Sadly, at the moment, some of the features have not been kept up to date with recent changes, which means while everything does still function, there are some minor issues or things that don't appear correct that prevent it from being presentable as part of this presentation. One of the things we've added is more capital ship components that link to gameplay functions. This includes the orbital strike cannon as well as other components which when destroyed will have different gameplay effects. Ultimately, we have made a lot of scripting and other minor changes to the mod over the years, and we can confirm that now pretty much 90% of the mod has been changed since 2021. One of the things that we're working towards is ensuring that the mod will work with all versions of the PC Battlefront 2 without relying on other code-dependent mods. What we are aiming to do is have a drag and drop solution to prevent the user having any form of install errors and to make sure that a mod will always work regardless of which version of the game it's installed on. This also extends to the Classic Collection, which means Steam Deck, modded Nintendo Switch, and modded PS4 players will also be able to play the mod on their respective platforms. However, this is not recommended as it is highly unstable at the moment and there are many compatibility issues with the Classic Collection. However, we have been able to test and confirm that split screen works brilliantly. We have not been able to grab footage in preparation for this, but during our previous private early access test earlier this year, we were able to confirm that the previous issues with online multiplayer have also been resolved. This means that Battlefront 3 Legacy will be able to be played online, both dedicated hosted and peer-to-peer hosted, without crashing. I think what highlights our progress more than anything is comparing our mod back to the regular Battlefront 2. It is almost unrecognizable, which really shows our commitment to making this feel like a new game for players. One of the big things that we've been working on is we've been partnering up with the Shader Patch mod, a large shader implementation into Battlefront 2. Part of this includes implementing the actual Battlefront 3 materials shaders into Battlefront 2, and it really helps Battlefront 3 Legacy look at its absolute best. Now for some real news, and probably what you've been waiting for, what our upcoming plans with the mod are. Our team have agreed upon a speculative roadmap. Since this is a voluntary project and we are people with very limited time, things may not line up, but this is a loose idea of what we're aiming to work on and when we want to work on it. Presently, we are currently finishing heroes as well as the general gameplay features such as the capital ship destruction. Here is a preview of some of the work being done on Django Fett. Our hero system will be based on some of the work done on the Touch-Ups mod, and we're excited to play some Hero Assault in the future. Currently, we don't have any lightsaber heroes as part of the mod. We are currently trying to rework the blaster heroes, but hopefully we'll be able to get that done by the end of the year. For the remainder of this year, we will be doing further bug testing and other minor works of the mod. We're currently planning another wave of internal and private early access testing as we work to make sure that there are minimal balance issues and the bugs in the mod are resolved. In early 2026, we're going to be working rapidly to try and get version 1.0 released. We are planning a public open test as well as the actual release to be completed both within first quarter 2026. After this, we will be able to continue with large works projects such as adding new game modes and maps, as well as continuing the animation rework. Later next year, we also intend to add the Galactic Civil War era, as this will require a lot more work since again we're building everything from the ground up, and the Galactic Civil War era in the original version of the mod was quite unfinished. And even in Battlefront 3 in the Xbox 360 build was unfinished. This will take some time, but we're hoping to get it out by the end of 2026. After we have completed both eras in multiplayer, we will be turning our focus towards other major projects, such as the legacy ports to older consoles, as well as campaign mode, and Battlefront 4 Legacy. One of the things that we are also planning for the future is RTX remix support. This is something that we tested before, but we found that the remix support was limited. Hopefully by the time that the Battlefront 3 Legacy mod 1.0 is released, we'll be able to work on fully implementing RTX remix into the mod, and thus resulting in the best graphical experience we can get out of Battlefront 2. We are not ready to commit to a set release date for version 1.0 for Battlefront 3 Legacy. I want to apologise because I know on multiple occasions this year we've said that we were committed to getting it released this year. But as I mentioned before, we are a voluntary team and things have just happened that we didn't really predict that have pushed the release back next year. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to work towards releasing as many gameplay showcases of all the maps and content within Battlefront 3 Legacy I can. Please continue to support our mod by joining our Discord server linked below. All news reaches there first, and spread the word about this mod not being dead. I also recommend checking out the ModDB article that I'll be releasing tomorrow. This will feature a more extensive look at the mod's current state. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below or on our Discord server, and we will endeavour to answer them. This ends the roundup for Battlefront 3 Legacy news. While there is so much more we could share that we've been working on, this is what is reflective in the upcoming 1.0 release. I'm trying to do regular dev streams here on YouTube, so subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to catch progress being made on the mod live. Until next time, keep capturing command posts.